Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter. I'm coming to you very early on a Sunday morning for me, and today I've got a bit of a treat for me. This is a puzzle that I was sent yesterday by Sotek, who has been very, very kind to me in testing many of my puzzles. And what Sotek has sent me is, I have to admit, something quite special. I really enjoyed this puzzle. This was one he sent me. You'll notice the name of the puzzle is question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. This is because the puzzle has not been even released yet. This is a puzzle. I don't know how many people have seen this, but he has not released it to the wild yet. I got to see an early test of this as we were testing each other's puzzles yesterday, and I was blown away by this puzzle. Apparently, I found something that was not what he intended, and that was good. I do remember what I did sort of in this puzzle, which was break it a lot. I did not find a smooth way through this puzzle, and I needed to roll back quite a lot. Hopefully, I won't have that exact problem today. I don't know exactly what's happening with my camera. Something seems to be a bit weird with the color on it. I'm not sure if that's gone away, but I was definitely having that before. So I don't know what's happening there. But I do, anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Thank you very much to Sotek for allowing me to do a video on his puzzle that has not been released yet, because when I had a lot of wow moments while doing this. I will not be I will not be repeating those wow moments, but I will be trying to describe them. Once again, I will tell people that off to the side, I am going to be having my math sheet, where I'm not as good at the numbers as some people who solve live, so I do use a sheet to help me remember the numbers and everything, rather than try and keep them all in my head, because it would just slow down the video. And I think you're much more interested in the logic of the puzzle than you are in the watching just me stare into the distance trying to remember numbers. Um, Links for this puzzle I will provide underneath this video. Hopefully Sotek won't be too upset at that, even because he hasn't released it yet. The I will update those links when he releases his official links for the puzzle. So there'll probably only be one link until that happens. Um, I'm not sure what more there is to say. If you wish to reach out to me, you can do so on the cracking the cryptic Discord server, or my email address will be listed below. Now let's see if I can solve this puzzle again. So, one of the things I remember from this puzzle was finding that, and I found this very interesting at the beginning when I first looked at it. This top row I thought was incredibly interesting with the 6 and the 7, and that this made a virtual 13 cage, because there's not that many ways of making 13 in 4 cells. So you've got, again, I'm looking off to my sheet. You've got 1, 2, 3, 7, which you can't use in that virtual 13 cage, because you can't put 7 in either of those two cages. So it limits you to 1, 2, 4, 6, or 1, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you were to use 1, 2, 4, 6, you would have to use the 6 in the 7 cage with the 1, which would put the 2, 4 in the 6 cage. If you were to use 1, 3, 4, 5, the only way to make 7 out of 1, 3, 4, 5 would be to put the 3, 4 in the 7 cage and the 1, 5 in the 6 cage. And you've got exactly the same pressure in column 5. So I can do the same down here. I can do 1, 2, 4, 5, and I can do 1, 3, 4, 6. Now, this isn't quite because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along here. So it isn't quite a quintuple. But the next thing I noticed was in box 2, there is a ridiculous amount of pressure, and there's so much pressure in this puzzle being put on from different areas, because if we look through here now, I can't, like, one of these must use these. I'm trying to think how to. I haven't used a 7, 8, or 9. I'm wondering if I can narrow this down. I can't remember if I could. I wonder if I could do something here. So 7 in 2. Well, there's only 3 options for that. So this would have to be 1, 2, or 3, followed by 4, 5, or 6. 13 has the same sort of thing. This would have to be 4, 5, or 6, followed by 7, 8, or 9. 1, 3, 4, 6. I'm wondering if I can narrow that down further. Did I cause a conflict with any of this? So if this, I think I did. If this is 1, 6, I can't use 1, 6 here. I'm going to look at these together. I'm going to start all of these boxes again. So if this is 1, 6, making this 2, 4, then in this cage, I'd have to use 3, 4, and down here, I would have to use 1, 5. So that would be one possibility. If up here, I used 3, 4, and across here I used 1, 5, then in here, I would have to use... I can't do that. Or can I? 3, 4, 1, 5. Oh, no, this could be 6, 1. No, yeah. Because I've used 3, 4, 1, 5. So the only thing I could use there is 6, 1. Which would make this 2, 4. Okay. But that is more restricted. Now, it means I have to use... Have I missed something there? Three, 4... 5, 1... Okay. So in here, I need to use 7, 8, and 9. Now, they must be used in these cells because I can't use them in any of these. So there's something else in there as well. Now, actually, let's see if I can figure out which. If I've used 1, 6, 3, 2, 4, I haven't used a 5. And if I've used 3, 4, sorry, if I've used 1, 6, 2, 4, 3. No, 1, 5, 3, 4, 6. I haven't used a 2. So this is either 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so these are 2, 5, 7, 8, 9 in here, depending on what we've done. Okay, now I remember. Yep. Okay, so we can't put 2 in the arrowhead. And this is where the trick for cracking into this that I found came in. And I do remember Sotek told me it wasn't what he had in mind, but this is what I found. So if we look at this cage, in particular these three cells, this is under a huge amount of pressure because the maximum we could make these cells is the maximum we could make these two arrows is 8 and 9. So if we count this as a 7, we count so that purple is 7, that purple is 8, and that purple is 9. The maximum we can make these purple come to is 24. So that means these green cells have to come to 21. Now, when we look at 21 in 3, the minimum you can have it is a 4. So you immediately drop the 2 out of this. And once you drop the 2 out of this, because you cannot put a 2 in the green cell and have these arrows work, because if you lower the values in these arrows below 8 or 9, it just gets worse, then you must put the 2 into the 6 cage, and this becomes the 2-4. The 2-4 option takes the 3-4 out option out of there, which turns this into the 3, this into the 4. Once this is the 3-4, we knew that this had to be, and it's in that order because of the 2-4 there, we knew that this had to be the 1-5. And we've got 5, 7, 8, and 9 in those arrows. Now, the next question we can ask ourselves is, with the amount of pressure we've got here, what can go onto the arrows? Can we have a 5 in here? And we look at this and we figure out we just can, because we've got to get the 21, and we could have, because we can have kind of repeats in here, 21 you can do with 5, 7, and 9. So we could have 5, 7, and 9 in those cells and it would all work. So, but we have been able to get this 3-4 without with applying this pressure down here because of the pressure on box 2. I'm not explaining this very well. I'm going to have a little more coffee. Okay. So I thought this was a really cool break-in. I don't think it's the full break-in, but I thought it was a very, very cool way of the pressure on this box. I thought was absolutely stunning, and being able to figure out that this had to be a 5, 7, 8, 9 because you couldn't use the 2, which was one of the options left over, was just very cool. The next thing I think is to look at this box. 13 in 2 is probably much more limited now because we can't use 5. So it's either 4, 9 or 6, 7. 14, again, can't use 5. So it actually has to be 6, 8. So because you can't use the 5, because this is forced to be 1, 5, this is 6, 8. That takes 6, 7 out of there, and this becomes 4, 9. This is now 2, 3, and 7, and we can't use 3 there, so this is now known. This 14 has to be the one that isn't 6, 8, so this is 5, 9. This 13, it can't be 3, 9 because it would conflict with that. It can't be 5, 7, it would conflict with that, so this must be 4, 8, which makes that a 9. And that a 4. That, no, wait, I've broken it again. Why? What have I done? And this is my history with this puzzle. I tend to just break stuff. What have I done? Was my logic there flawed? This had to be 1, 5 because this was 3, 4. I can't put a 7 in either of those cage. 1, 5, 3, 4. It has to be. So once that's 1, 5, the 14 had to be 6, 8. Once I can't use 5 or 6, this has to be 4, 9. The 14 can't be 6, 8. This has to be 5, 9. This 13 now can't be 4, 9. This has to be 6, 7. That's what I did wrong. I'm doing this again. I'm having a morning. So this is 6, 7. Then this is 8. This is 6. That takes 8 out of there. That 4, 9 takes 9 out of there. Now possibly we look at this 7. So you can tell it's early on a Sunday. Normally I can do a 7 cage without needing to look. So 1, 6 would be 1, 6. 2, 5 would be 2, 5. No, it can't be 2, 5 because I've got 5 in the box. And 3, 4 could be in either order. This one I think is going to be the same. Ah, no, it's not. I can't use 1, 6. 2, 5 is in that. No, 3, 4 can't be in either order because I can't do 3 at the top. So it's 2, 5 or 3, 4. So they're the options I get for the 7 cages. This 13 cage I think is now restricted because I can't use 6 or 8. So this has to be 4, 9, which takes 9 out of the top. This 7 cage, 1, 6 it can be. It can't be, oh, it can be 2, 5. It can't be 3, 4. Okay. Oh, I remember forgetting this for so long. Like it took me probably 30 minutes to spot this when I did this last time, and I've just done it again. These arrows. And if you've been looking at the screen and going, BremSter, why the hell aren't you resolving those arrows? Then you are 100% correct. You cannot put a 1 in an arrow that has 2 things off it. That is the 6. That is the 1. That is the 4. That is the 2. This 4 must be a 1, 3. This 6 can't be a 1, 5. Could be a 2, 4. It has to be a 2, 4, and we know the order. That takes 4 out of there. Okay. Now, we took 4 out of there, so we take 3 out of there. We can take 4 out of there, so opposite 4, we can take 9 out of there. It is finding the pressure points in this puzzle. So I do remember when Sotek sent this to me, he told me that the first cell that people would get is actually that cell. He said for the break-in that he had in mind, row 3, column 5 is the first cell that people will get. And to be honest, I have no idea how that's supposed to be a thing. Yeah, so I'm hoping that he will jump into the comments on this video and describe his intended break-in because I never was able to find it. So this is a 5, 6 pair. So 5, 6 has to appear up here. So that means, so there's a 5, 6 pair, which means I cannot put 5 in here. I can't put 5 in there. I can't put 5 in the 13 cage. This must be a 5, 2, so I can take 1, 6 out of there. That takes 5 out of the top. That takes 2 out from down here. I remember having resolved this by now, but that's not where I'm up to, so that's fine. What am I missing? Could be these two cells. Right, this 5, 9, of course, gives me a 4 here and a 9 here. This 5, 9 gives me a 1 here and a 5 here. There is so much that people should be telling me off for missing. This makes this a 2, 3 pair, which, that's interesting. So I now have a 2, 3 pair in that column. Well, that means 3, 3. I have to put 3 in one of those two. Actually, 2, 2, that's a 2, 3 pair as well. Which means 2 has to go down here. So 2 is in one of those two. I can't put... So 2 is in one of those two, because I can't put 2 in there. I can't put 2 there. So 2 is in one of those two cells. I'm sure there is something much more clever I am missing. What's the pressure I am missing? 6 has to go in there because of the 5, 6 pair. I was sure this was more resolved. 9 is in one of those two. Was it the pressure on these 3 cells again? I'm going to re-highlight that and see if I can figure out the math again. So this is 7, but we don't yet know what those are. Have I restricted those arrows enough? One of them is a 9. So I've definitely got a 7 and a 9. Sorry, yeah, 7 and 9 contributing to this total. Because the 7 cage. There is a 6 in there somewhere. There is a 4. Got that 4. There has to be a 1 on one of those arrows. In fact, there has to be a 1 in one of those because of this 1 looking up here forces 1 into one of those. So that becomes a 2, that becomes a 5. That makes that a 6, which makes that a 7. That makes that a 7 and that a 6. That puts 7 up here. And 6. So there is a 6 and a 7 in there. Well, the 6 can't be there. So there's a 6 in one of those two. Now I wish I could remember how to... Now that 5 makes that a 9 and that a 5. That puts a 5 up here. But it's... What does it do for 2? Ah, well, we knew that 2 had to be in one of those 2 spots. So that's now the 2, that's the 3, that's the 2, that is not a 2, that's a 7, so that becomes a 5. That takes 5 out of there, putting 5 into there. That's leaving 5 in one of those 2 spots. Is it possible for 5 to be in there still? Yes, because this can still be high enough that this could be 5, 8, 9, yeah. In fact, 9 can't go there, 9 can't go there, that must be 9. And it's been that way for ages. Can I put 8 on one of those? Yes, because I have to put 9 on one of those arrows, and I have to put 1 on one of those arrows. So I absolutely could put 8 on one of those arrows. Doesn't mean I have to, though. Though that 8 means 8 must go somewhere in that column. Which means 8 must go somewhere in there. Just the way everything pushes on this puzzle, I really do like it. Of course, it would help if I was solving it better, but you know, that's on me. So 1 must go in one of those because of the ones up there. 2, 3, 4 must go in one of those because of that 4. 8 can go anywhere. 9 must go at the top. So 1 must go there, which forces 1 into one of those 2 cells, because 1 is also down the bottom there. Four is in one of those 3. I absolutely can put 1 on that arrow. 2 has to go on an arrow. And it can't go on that arrow because of those 2s. So I can't put 2 there, I can't put 2 there, I can't put 2 there. So 2 must go exactly there because of that 2. So that means this is not 2. This gives me a 3, 7 pair, which puts 2 right in the middle. So that's okay. So 2, 3 to get to 5, 2, 5 to get to 7, 2, 6 to get to 8, or 2, 7 to get to 9. This can't be a 3, so that can't be the 5. That is now a 7, 8, 9 triple. There is a 5 in this box. That's not a 5, so that's not a 7. So this is a... hang on. There's a 6 there. That's a 7. 2, 7 makes 9. That's not a 9. So this is a 7, 8 pair. This 7 makes this a 3, which makes this a 7. This is now the only place in the column for a 1. This 7 is making this an 8, which is making this a 7. This now must be a 1 and a 6, which is all that's left in the box, which does total 7. This column is now just missing 3. and this is now fully resolved. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't put 7 at the bottom either, so 8 goes right there, and this becomes a 6, 7 pair. We've now got a missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. That becomes the 4, that becomes the 9. That 4 makes that a 6 and that a 1. That 1 makes that an 8, that a 4, that a 9, and that a 1. That a 1. This is now a 1, 4 pair. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 pair. That's got to put, so I can't put an 8 on that arrow because it can't end in a 9, so that becomes a 5. 5 and 2 would make that a 7. 5 and 3 would make that an 8. It can't be a 7, so that has to be an 8 and a 3, which makes that a 2, that an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has to be a 6. This is a 1. This is a 6. This is a 3. This is a 1. I really do not know how the break-in was supposed to have this as a 9 as the first digit, but I really do love the way this puzzle unrolls. And I don't seem to have made quite as many mistakes this time, so I'm happy with myself for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 9 go in there, which is resolved. 5 and 9. 1, 2, 3 goes into one of those. I can't put a 1, 2 on that arrow, so I can't put a 3 on the arrowhead. 5, because of that 5. 6, these are 7 and 8. That 7 makes that an 8 and that a 7. For this to be a 7, it could be 1, 6, and if it was in that order, it would be 6 and 1. It can't be 5, 2. It can't be 3, 4. So it has to be 6 and 1, which makes that a 7, that a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 must go there. 9, 7 and 3. That 9 makes that a 4 and that a 9, which makes that a 1 and that a 4. That's a 5 and that's a 2. And we've just got the final box to do, which should unravel this puzzle. 3, 4, 7 and 8. And that looks good to both the software and to me. I really like this puzzle. I think this is the first puzzle of Sotek's I've solved as on one of my videos, and I hope it's not the last. First time I solved this puzzle, I think it took me about 25 minutes to figure out the pressure around the top of the grid, and I was chatting to Sotek about it at the time, and he was a little surprised that I found something that wasn't his intended break-in. But like me, when someone tells me they've found a break-in to one of my puzzles that's not what's intended, he seemed pretty happy that there was something else. If I'm wrong about that, well, he can yell at me in the comments and I'll mea culpa. But yeah, I really do like this puzzle, and I hope this gets a lot of attention because it deserves it. Thank you for watching, and as everyone says, please, if you like the video, please like it. And if you like my videos in general, please subscribe, because I am going to try and continue to do more of them. Thank you very much.